Oh, hey, we're live. We're back. Fast forward. What's new and exciting? I'll be right back. We're back. Hello.
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
what's up, Lynn?
What's
What's up,
up?
everybody?
What's up? We are back. I'm super excited to be back. I did a solo show the other day, and then I did one with Cheryl, and it's still like this is like getting back on the horse. Holy cow, everybody. We are back. We are live.
No pun intended by that statement, everyone.
You know what? I'm not gonna ask what I just said because half the time I don't hear what I'm saying, but
Hey, wow, that'd be the fastest time we ever get naughty within the first minute of our show ever, So.
and I tried not to blush here because Brian, when I showed him our scenery and our stage, he goes, Lynn, this reminds me of silk and lace. And I'm like, he's like, it reminds me of lingerie. I'm like, I don't know where you get that idea from.
It's like somebody had a background in that. I have no idea who or what.
Hey, look, we've got Scott.
Scott's here.
Oh, it's so good to see you. I don't know why it's kind of hard to read that. Can you read that, Brian?
Yeah, it's like size 6 font, but yeah, wow, good to see you two together.
Oh my gosh,
yeah. Thanks for tuning in and being loyal to our show. Lynn and I both took some time off for personal, and Lynn was traveling, and you know how that goes. So we might not be well rested, but we're back.
Well, and that's the thing. It's the matter of you take time out for yourself, because if you don't fill up your own bucket and feel right, then
Yep.
you're worth nothing to anyone else. And it was just a perfect time to reformat and do a lot of different things. And we're going to be doing a lot of different things this season, I'll tell you what. And I'm the problem with me is I try to wait till I'm perfect at stuff to do it, and I realize that at 55 years old, I got to give that shit up and just realize that just knowing that, just going forward and trial and error, and let that be, is really important to know that imperfectly perfect. And here we are.
Well, and if you're not the best for yourself, you're never going to be able to be better for anybody else, and that applies to your sleep, your self-belief, your attitude, any of that. It all starts with you. You're the foundation. And I look at a lot of things like a house, right? If the concrete and all of that is not properly laid on the ground, the time it takes to dry and the time it needs to be framed, if that is not well, you're going to have problems later on. And it's the same thing in life. It's a metaphor for life, in my opinion.
And I knew that once we started, we were just going to go forward and not take time off. So that I did keep in perspective. As long as we can put up with each other, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have a problem there, but it's also comes into a place where it's like, okay, the marketplace, people are getting out and about now versus last year when we did all of our shows. I mean, people were cooped up, so things are entirely different now. Obviously, I'm speaking about the Midwest, maybe in your part of the country, kind of the health considerations are different. But last year was a lot different than this year. So, we're back at it, but at the same time, we want it to be valuable and insightful for you instead of just getting on here and talking about whatever. And if it's not valuable, we don't want to do it for ourselves, let alone for everybody watching.
Exactly. Thank you, Helen, for being here, and Scott Ricard. I just love you. Thank you so much for your support. So keeping in perspective of giving value and being here and showing up, we've decided a few different things, and on the curves. And so we're gonna go ahead, Brian, if you want to tell them what some of our plans are.
Yeah, well, I mean, shows are going to be shorter. The reason why is because obviously, like, the attention span is something that's talked about all the time. Everybody's pulled in all different directions. We have shorter attention spans in goldfish these days, and so our shows are going to be shorter. They're going to just straight meat. We can reach people at all different times of day. Like if they're on lunch break, or if you only got a few minutes to tune in, there might be some times where we actually go longer, but we're committed to doing shorter shows once a week. Sometimes we might go more than once a week, but and then we're going to be talking about weddings and events. But you know, the conversations we'll be having are interchangeable, regardless of like replace wedding or event with anything. Methodology and the thought process doesn't change. Regardless, it's like, oh, I don't know anybody getting married. I'm not getting married, or I'm never doing that again, or whatever. It doesn't matter. So and
So
it's gonna be straight meat.
yeah, no, it's exciting. I think every other week we'll do it's going to be I told Brian that I want it to be more of an event and wedding thing where, yeah, so what? You're not getting married, you don't know anybody getting married, but you know what? You actually have get-togethers, families, holidays are coming up. Some of these tips and some of these different things you're like, "Oh man, I should do that with my family." And I can show some fun risque little party planning things you can do with your family and friends too. But we just want to throw things in there that are just going to allow you to have to have a different perspective on what you normally do and just give value there. And so we're going to try that out, and it will be at the same time. Right now our regular day is going to be Fridays at this same time, and I'm planning to do other different shows and different things too. So again, this is all in the premise of eventually I'm going to have a Roku channel,
Mm-hmm.
and Brian will be a spin-off of that. And so I'm a host of all these shows, but and my co-hosts are basically people I'm interviewing to be their own show, their own you know thing. So I'm learning all the back ends of things that need to be done for long-term shows, but I'm definitely excited with where we're going and what we're going to be doing. Here's sharing tips. I don't know why this is so small.
Yeah. Sharing
Um,
tips and info for events of all kinds. Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
that I'm glad you bring that up, Helen. Is like I would say it's more thoughts, lessons,
Hmm.
because when I look at wedding tips, I think different than most people. That's not pat my own shoulder, but I think tips are they may work, but I think that they're short term. I don't think that it's kind of like I'm trying to put out a fire. Well, do you put baking soda on it, or do you get rid of the whole fire? And I think that with a lot of things is that like we want the quick, the easy, the simple, and when you're creating something like an event where there is a defined outcome, either one that you want to create or one that you're working with other people to help create. I don't think that tips will get you there, because I think that it has to go deeper than it. If um, if it's something that's very special, you know. So I when I see the word tip, I caution a little bit when it comes to event, because the only thing that matters in the end is the success of the event. But tips are more likely just short term things, may or may not get you there.
Absolutely. And so again, but like I said, I don't want to lose I don't want to lose our audience by
No.
thinking that it has nothing to do with them, because trust me, we'll make sure we'll always have a perspective for you to something that you didn't ponder or think about, but
Yep.
we stirred up the, oh shit, I'm not going to have a typical holiday, get together. And the fact that we do realize, in the state that we're in now, that time with family is precious, but to get into the rut of, oh shit, we're together and this is like the last 10, 15 years,
Yep.
change it up, do something different that they don't expect. And that's where we're at. Is I love spontaneous, I love spur the moment things. And as far as having a second or third show maybe during the week, those will be considered our real and raw pop-ups. And
Yep.
they'll be pop-ups randomly. I mean, and that'll be fun because that'll be based on our schedule. That'll be based when we can find the time, or we feel the urgency to be trending with a topic that's out there. And and if you see articles about weddings and stuff and you have your own thing, I sent one to Brian the other
Yeah.
day, and then he has his 2 cents for it. I mean, like, I'd want to call that the 2 cent Brian's 2 cents on this kind of thing. So,
No more than 2 cents. I got it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
You got 3 minutes. Give me your read
Okay,
this.
1 cent,
Read,
1 cent per minute, nothing more.
read this 15-page article, Brian, and then I want
Yeah.
2 minutes of talk.
I want your clip notes, only 2 bullet points. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, there's a lot of excitement there, and we are going to have a way that you can text us, and I'm going to throw this on here. It's still in the works as far as and I've got to type it here, so it'll take me a second, but it let's see. You guys can try this, and I'm going to offer, I need 11 people that are the first ones to respond to this will get message me that you went to my YouTube and signed up for our YouTube channel, Lynn Serrano. I need to change the name on there. And then I'm going to send you a signed autographed book. And so let me see, text.
Right from the author? Right from Montana? What?
888.
Whoa.
Okay.
And
Text.
while you're doing that, Lynn, I just want to give a shout out to a guy that I became pretty close with. I've never met him personally, but through some different groups. Lee, he owns a company out east. I think it's in New Jersey or New York. And I saw that he just liked. He said he was going to try to make the show, but with his business, it's a little hard for him to do that. But Lee, I value you. When I put out inspirational messages, he always comments, or if he's having a tough day, they make a difference for him. And it's I do it for other people, but I'm glad you're here, and I just value you as a person. And I've never met you before, but I know that you try to do positive and good things in the world every day. So thanks for being here.
So if you guys that are watching want to text that and let me know if you get the welcome to Lynn and Brian show thing, that would be fantastic. And from there, oh, thank you, Lee, for being here. That's very nice. I appreciate you too. But if you guys text that right now, you should see that I've been working on this behind the scenes. And so it should work for you. But when you text that, you should see welcome to Lynn and Brian's show. And then you'll see our picture on the page. And then underneath, it'll say sign up. If you give your information there, you'll get an email. And the email has the link to the YouTube channel. So if you get that email and you haven't signed up on the subscribe, but just the first 13 or 15 people that actually do this, I will make sure that when I get, and this goes only to me, by the way, and we are not giving your shit away to nobody else because we're honored to have the information. Nobody other than Brian and I will have it. But I look forward to just signing and sending you a book. So I just as soon as I get those the 100 subscribers, then we'll be able to just call it Lynn Serrano. So anyhow, this is super exciting. Yeah, so that's the plug on that. And I made the banner ready for next week's show. If you have any ideas of what you want Brian to talk about with all things events and weddings, just let us know.
Yeah.
And
I think we could do those traditions, that are falling by the wayside. I think that's an interesting one.
Oh, the one I sent you that article?
I think we could dive down deep into that a little bit,
Okay, cool. So So I'm just grateful that you guys have all taken the time to just comment here and show up. And what we're going to end up doing is we'll go live on Facebook here, but on the YouTube channel, it'll be a delay because what we'll end up starting to do is like Brian will be talking about things. See, Brian's on the hot seat on his show on the other show that we're going to do, and he's going to always have notes, and I'm giving him the heads up, but I'm going to have him give up his notes like after the show. So like we're running down and whatever show we're doing and topics and tips he has, I'm going to ask him to give those to me so that after the show, when you text our show, and there'll be a different, I don't know if I'm going to call it Brian's notes or whatever keyword we use, you'll get emailed the cheat sheet or the whatever he has to give. So then you'll be able to go to the YouTube channel and go to the description and go there to get whatever we're offering, because we're going to end up giving gifts, tips, ebooks, all sorts of stuff away as we go down the road here. So
and I mean, like looking ahead to the holidays, I think that there's, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, some of those holidays, some people may dread, others may openly love to participate in, but to just give you a perspective or a point of view with ways to either get through it or a new take on it, right? Whether you have those people you don't want to talk to in your family or whatever. I think that there's a different point of view is definitely helpful to get through, if not embrace something new,
Well,
as we
and
move into holidays.
and I think without just saying the word holidays all the time, but the fact of the premise of where we are in the United States right now and things becoming short in demand and people needing to be creative, I think it's very important to say that we should be more focused on how to make these times. It's just like when you're hurt somewheres, you might have had a major surgery, you're pain and somebody in your stomach, but somebody goes and slaps you just for that 1 minute where you're not
Hmm.
thinking of the pain in your stomach, you're thinking of, the pain somewhere else. I
Right.
hope that that's where we bring value is to actually focus on directing your thoughts to not the oh shit, repeating that old cycle in your head of
Hmm.
what this event's going to be to you, but to give you a different perspective so that it is different, so that you're rewiring and making new memories. I think that's
Right.
a very important. So,
Absolutely. I mean, everybody comes from a different place, but to instead of having it be something you're going to dread to go to and you're choosing to go because if you don't, your family members are going to perceive you this way or whatever. I think it's very helpful to be like, huh, how long has it been deeply rooted that way? And from your last memory, what can you remember about it that made it that way? Like, is it something that you made up, or was there an incident or a circumstance that created that?
right.
So I mean, get to the core of it, but obviously creating a new opportunity or a new way to experience an event like that you might have in the past been disgruntled about, or you just don't want to go, or you're all up in arms. Any way to change that so it's a better experience is what we're here for.
All right. Well, you know what? I've put a limit on this as 15 minutes, and
Yep.
being a stage manager, we are over. So I usually get about that.
Fire the stage
However,
manager.
yeah. Hey,
I'm just kidding.
I know, I know. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see the familiar names. I look forward to seeing your text messaging our new system here. That's going to be so much fun because with a shorter show, we're going to give more value in the back end backstage to our people than
Yep.
what you're going to see out there. You're going to know when what's going on, when it's going to go on. We'll even end up texting you. We're going to do a pop-up before anybody else knows. I mean, it's going to be super fun. It's going to be spontaneous and fun. So,
You're in the insiders club.
absolutely. Okay, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next Friday with a little different show. So, have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.